start working on.
I think it'd be good to start, even if you do change council,
Yeah.
at least they don't have to get new ones, don't have to bite right into it.
Yeah, they won't have to start from scratch.
Right.
If there's new ones, then, yeah, you have it pretty well in progress. And then ideas they may bring that might be different than what we have could be worked into it, rather than starting from scratch with new people.
Would this, or could this be worked into the P and Z meetings when we're all together?
I don't know if it could, Motley Code of Ordinances, that's not the P and Z, it's planning and zoning.
It's not the planning commission, no. So if it's the full council, we'll have to, I mean, you could schedule it on the same night. And we could schedule a workshop for that same night. But it would have to be posted separately.
But if we did
But
a
it could be
committee,
the
like
same.
2 council members and a couple, like you
Then it
and
could be
somebody,
anytime.
and you could kind of do it anytime.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about it?
Either way.
I think we could start with the committee
I agree.
and have the committee report to the council, and then in time, the council would have to have some work sessions, I think, to make sure everybody on the council was on board.
With certain stuff. Well, who do you want to put on?
Who wants to do a lot of work?
Well, now for sure you ain't gonna get anybody.
I'm just trying to be realistic about it. It's, I was involved in doing it initially.
Oh, well, you have experience.
So I know.
Well.
There's a lot of work involved. So I'm just helping anybody that, what do you say, get started without realizing what they're getting into. It's gonna be a lot of work. More work than the P and Z updates were, I'm sure of that.
Work doesn't scare me, it's just the time to find,
Right.
to do the work.
Especially when us that are employed somewhere else makes it hot tough.
It wouldn't hurt to have department heads involved as much as they can take part.
Yeah, the relevant, yeah. It's like I'm thinking, I know, there are certain sections that I'm thinking like a police chief or interim chief
Right.
probably doesn't have much to do
Right.
with, but yeah. It's-
But there are areas where you're gonna need, different department heads involved.
Well, you wanna be on it for one?
I can be on it.
Okay. We'll have Lacey on there.
Lacey should be on it, definitely.
To go to the bathroom?
No, don't leave, that's when you get voluntold.
Yeah, that's true.
I could be on there too. I don't know if I could make everyone, but I'll give it a shot.
Thank you.
So Steve is willing to be on there too.
Sure.
Well, then if we have 3, then we
Oh, yeah,
need
we
to
can't
post
have-
all the
we can't
meetings,
have
which is
3.
fine.
No, I get that, I was gonna weed this out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Not to back up, but you do have more time free than I do.
I do.
Okay.
so why don't we do?
I could be a backup if you guys
Bingo,
need
that's what I was gonna say. How about
another.
we put them 2 on, Lacey, Bruce, and Jason. But at some point when you're not needed, I mean, if you're going through stuff that is not the police department, don't even come. Don't waste the city's money on that, same way with anybody else. But if you guys, the ones that are, has pertained and wanna be there, that's fine. And then, so we'll put Steve and Pat on from the council, and Amy's a backup, so one of you guys can't come, maybe she can come.
Yep, absolutely.
Or if it gets really hard, just say you can't come, and let her come.
And I don't think there'll be a lot that would affect the fire department, but I think we should keep them informed of what we're working on in case there is something that they might want to get involved in.
So that might be a thing too, if you get down to fire stuff, that just let him know, and then you can try to be here, one of you guys, just to kinda. Thing is, more we got on there, it's a little bit difficult it is, because it's hard to get everybody together, I get that. But if
Well, and I
Lacey's
can,
pretty good at weeding that out beforehand, and
yeah.
see where we're at, so. Alright, well, good, thank you guys for stepping up. Any new business brought forward? Otherwise, we go to G, which is the cameras in the park, and Steve, you can go with that.
Yeah, at the park board meeting, it was brought up how damage is being done to our certain items. And actually, this is hearsay, obviously, but people have seen, people picking up benches and just smashing down, really working hard to ruin our things. It goes way beyond, Billy Loves Lucy type stuff. I just think a camera would be good, it's not that expensive. Bruce said we do have power out there to hook them up, and
Are you thinking about cameras with a VCR type thing on it? Or are you thinking about like game cameras?
No, actually, I looked at a couple this weekend, between $250 and $300. We can get one with like a terabyte of storage on there. We just download it as needed, and it's a hardwire thing. When it comes with 4 heads, one's expandable to 8 heads, but like
I
I
think it'd
said,
be high enough where you can't break them.
well, maybe we'll catch them, break them. I don't know. But I don't know how that works. I'm thinking put them on.
Break the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Put them on the building itself, so we don't, they come with like 30 feet of wire, I think it is, from outwards, and otherwise we'd have to put extensions on to get farther out.
Right. I think it's a good idea. The other thing maybe we should think about doing is, when we do our mail out, is add that on there, say that whoever gets caught damaging our park is gonna get a no trespassing, can't come there no more. Letter from the city. If we don't need that.
Are these motion activated cameras?
Yeah, one at Costco is actually motion and temperature activated, I guess, so it could both ways, and it had some good night vision stuff. I think that was $300, and I kind of leaned towards that direction just because it looked like it was better quality video and everything on it, so. And I think it would
Pays a
have,
good camera, they can pay that.
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want something so grainy you can't tell who it is anyway, so.
Yeah.
Do these ones have the app for your phone, so say if Jason's sitting up here in his squad, he can monitor the
You
park?
could, but we don't have any Wi-Fi down there, so we can't,
Um,
I mean, unless we put phone service in there too, then we don't have that capability, so.
But even going back after the fact and looking at it.
Yeah, we can plug into a USB port and download everything off that thing then, so.
I think it's a good idea.
I like that idea.
And not only for our property, if something else happens back there, if someday you may want that.
Do we have money to do it now? Is there money- Is there money in the budget to do it?
We can pull it off and then.
I think we should go ahead and do it then.
Okay. I agree, you guys wanna make a motion on that to let Bruce get Costco cameras?
I will make that motion. It's right around the $300, if it's $25 more, that's cool, fine.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Johnson, second by O'Regan.
Is that for one camera or more?
No.
Four of them.
4 heads and then the box that it all ties to.
And
There might be
maybe,
tax and stuff on there too, I mean, no?
We're tax exempt.
Oh, I see, yeah, okay. All right, go ahead.
maybe just have a scroll screen to cover everything except maybe the lens itself or something like that. So
Get
throw
some-
rocks and stuff.
These are a head thing that you mount on the wall or on the soffit or something like that. They're kind of, I think they're white with a black face if I remember. Maybe we can try and tuck one in someplace, but.
Okay. Sounds good. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, public forum. Any members that wishing to be heard should sign in before the public forum begins. Providing names and contact information so we can do any follow-up. Any items not on the agenda already may be heard by the council, but no action will be taken. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. I'll put it to 5. Anybody from public have anything? All right, well, moving on, let's go to the committees. Nothing's changed there. Anybody have any changes on the committees? Any new business brought forward? Anybody?
No, we just had an update from the park committee meeting briefly. We reviewed the grants, we reviewed the benches. We recommend that we go ahead and purchase the benches Bruce is gonna talk about. with the matching grants from the Staples Motley Community Foundation, as well as purchase the Converse Park sign. We went over a few different design options for the rock face and stuff, and all sort of came to an agreement, as well as planting some flowers at the dog park. Any more park? Steve, Bruce? Sort of an update. We had a meeting.
Bruce, is there a timeline on the Ernie Converse sign?
Once we get it approved, we'll get the,
It'll take a month or two?
probably.
Okay.
We want it done by this fall, no matter
Okay.
what. Part of the grant application is to have it all complete this year, so.
Because at some point, once it's complete, I would like to contact the Converse family and just let them know, so they can come and, in memories of their father or grandpa. They can stand, maybe take a picture for the paper.
Well, as part of this, we're gonna try and get the paper to take some stuff while it's in progress.
Sure.
They want some recognition for donating the money too, so.
So maybe we do like a cutting or something and.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Do you guys have any other thoughts on that? Okay.
Be nice.
All right, let's go to the fire department. We have Chief Frisk.
May we had 16 calls, 6 medicals, 2 good intents, 2 motor vehicle accidents, and 6 fire trucks.
Okay.
And I have, our tanker number 1 needs to get fixed, I don't know what it's gonna cost. Emergency apparatus will be coming in and do it. Is that okay to go ahead and do
I mean,
it?
it has to get fixed, right?
Yeah, our seal went out the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Anybody have any objections to that? Getting fixed, no? Anybody have any questions? Do you have anything else?
The only other thing I have is we're looking into maybe getting paid $10 an hour on the calls. Staples Fire Department, Scans Valley Fire Department, everybody around us is doing it. You guys wanted me to bring it forward. We're gonna look into it more. I just trying to make you aware of it.
Okay. Yeah, look in it and then let us know.
That's all I got.
Does anybody from the council have any concerns? Or anything for?
Is the current pay 7? Okay.
The current pay is $9 per call, not per hour.
And it would still be a per call, right, the $10 per call,
No, it'd be per hour.
per hour? Okay.
Yeah, I guess you'll have to see, like, if somebody comes and sits up here, if that's considered per hour too, or is it just the ones, once they're on a scene? I mean, there's all kinds of things to look at.
Yeah.
All right.
So right now it's $9 per hour?
$9 per call.
Per call, yeah.
Okay,
So it doesn't matter if they're there for 10 minutes or 2 hours or 10 hours.
and then you're proposing $10 per
Per
hour
hour.
then, okay. Just so I
Do
understand.
you think that's gonna be a conflict like with businesses that are letting their employees go now and paying for them, plus they're getting another temp? I could see that happening.
I don't know any other employee would ever enough to know about it, really.
No, it's not, yeah.
I mean, obviously, the only one it's gonna affect here would be the guy that's trying to.
We don't know nothing, hear nothing.
I don't know, like I said, I wanna talk to Staples,
Yeah.
because they're probably the closest to us that, how it works. With what our situation is, and then,
Okay, sounds good. Let you look into that. Anybody have anything else? All right, we're gonna go to police department. Chief Borish.
We had a total of 86 calls for service for the month of May, which brought us to a total of 388 for the year as of May 31st. Chief Smith was called out from home 2 times throughout the month of May, and he was able to bill out 1.5 hours to the school.
Okay.
Any questions on that portion?
All right.
Also on the agenda, I put a couple of sheets on the council table there for you to see. The radar sign that the city owns hasn't been functioning properly since sometime mid this winter. I worked on it here the last couple of weeks, several hours, working along with the manufacturer out of Georgia, and according to them, it's not able to communicate with the computer at all anymore to be reset, so it needs to go down for a total rebuild, is what the engineer down there said. Gave me a price of $995 to restructure the sign to get it into functioning order. On the last page of those sheets there, you can see the prices for new ones. The TC 400, which is approximately the same size and category of what we have now, is just under $2,900, $2,895. A little bit nicer one would be the 600S, which is solar powered. That would keep us from having the issue of batteries, changing them out all the time. They go dead. You gotta change them a couple times a week, recharge them. Also, the solar works a lot better in the winter time. We don't have problems with the batteries freezing up. So the sign should be able to function year round then. But it does come with a higher price tag of $3,595. So my question to the council is, do we want to repair the current one that we have, or do we want to replace it with a new one? The other option would be, I know I've spoken with a number of people, and it would be very nice, and I agree with this as well, to have two signs, one on each end of town for traffic to try to slow them down through town. As you all know, we have a lot of highway traffic through here, especially during the summer. And I've noticed a big difference now that we don't have that sign, that traffic is moving a lot faster again. Those signs really help to slow down traffic. They probably slow down 80% of the traffic that isn't right now.
On the batteries,
Yes.
how much are the batteries and how long, you gotta change them approximately 2 times a week?
Yeah, they last 3 to 4 days at best, depending on whether it's a weekend or during the week. Obviously, there's less traffic flow during the week, so they last a little bit longer. But on a busy weekend, if it's a holiday weekend, they might only last 2 days because of the high traffic flow.
Now, when you say, do they come on then when they sense a car? Is that why you?
Correct.
Some are longer?
The batteries are only have power drawn from them when it's sensing a car and the sign is lighting up showing the speed. Otherwise it stands idle and it's not really drawing any power from them. The batteries we do have in the sign currently are 3 years old. They are a gel type battery and they last a little bit longer than the average battery, but they will need to eventually be replaced. And I have checked with them before on that, and they're $600 to buy new batteries. They're $300 each.
Oh,
So the solar powered eliminates that cost in the future as well.
Did you check with Little Falls like I had mentioned to you or not about their batteries?
I spoke with another chief today, and he was under the assumption he'd been working with the Little Falls chief, and they're buying the entire unit from this company as well.
They are?
That was what
I think
his
he's wrong,
assumption
because
was.
when I talked to the chief, he told me that they have all a bunch of extra batteries, because they're pulling the batteries out and they're putting chargeables in them. Their maintenance guy is doing it, he's making the brackets and buying the unit and hooking it up, and so he said if you guys want batteries, I have extra batteries for you.
Okay.
But
I do have a
think,
call in the,
yeah, I think get a hold of, I would suggest that you get a hold of Little Falls and see, maybe bring Bruce down so Bruce can look at it, because their guys are making them. And I thought he said that the cost is about $300 to get it switched over to solar, and it still doesn't prevent the machine that needs to be refixed, I get that, but if you're gonna buy a machine, I totally would understand it, you'd get one with a solar light, but I was just trying to save money right now. I don't know how you guys, what you guys think?
No, did we buy this? I don't remember. I thought it was something to do
Donated.
with Piers. Did Piers donate it?
Yeah, well, so NJPA, Piers wrote a grant for our region,
Okay.
and they distributed a whole bunch of them out to different agencies, and then eventually they gave us the unit.
Okay.
So it didn't cost us, and I know we have insurance on it, I don't know if the insurance, what our deductible is on that.
General property deductible is like $250, but I don't know that it would cover this.
That just, it wasn't wrecked, it just.
Yeah, I
could
mean,
be
there was
cold
no actual
weather.
damage,
Right.
so I don't know, something I could check on.
I know we got insurance originally because it wasn't ours, we were worried that if somebody damages it, we have to pay for it, so I was just like, well, if our insurance would cover some of that would be nice.
Yeah, I can check on that.
Is there any more of those grants coming up that you're aware of?
I don't think so.
I haven't heard of anything.
So we initially have no cost in this,
Mhm.
the one that's out there.
Right.
And if he says it's gonna be like 900 to fix it,
$995 is what they
so
quoted
you're
to fix
almost
it.
1,000. I'd say, yeah, if it works as good as you're saying, I'd like to see the solar powered one. Cause you have time in changing batteries twice a week. That's my thought on it.
Do we know the life expectancy of the solar unit?
They do come with a 2-year warranty on them, but after that, yeah, the life expectancy, I'm not sure. The current unit that we have with the batteries is 3 years old. So it's been functioning fine for 3 years before it malfunctioned.
These batteries that we could acquire, are they rechargeable batteries?
No, they're the same ones we have. Little Falls took their batteries out of their units and they put rechargeables in,
Okay.
and then they put a solar panel on top with some brackets, and their maintenance guy made them.
So, okay,
That's what the
so
chief
they're
told-
charging the batteries by
Constantly.
the solar.
Yeah. And I thought he said they only had $300 stuck into that. I just think, I know Bruce is really good at making something, and if he went down there and took pictures. My concern is where we're gonna get the money out, where are you guys gonna spend the money out of that $3,000, where's it coming from?
3,500?
3,500. We can budget for where we think it'll keep taking it.
I think, my personal opinion, a little different than yours, Denise, but I think being everything's new, doing a great job, but money-wise, like you mentioned, especially if we can get new batteries and if we can, Bruce, I know he can make it, it's whether he wants to or not. I think that would be the way to go, at least initially,
And then maybe budget for a new sign,
right?
for another sign.
Because I do
next
like
year.
solar eventually, solar's everything and they're getting better every day. So that's just my
So Jason,
opinion.
that $995, was that with batteries or just replacing the computer thing?
It's, the $995 is just the cost of me sending in our current unit, having them reprogram it and return it to us.
Because as far as we know, the unit will work, right? It just doesn't, communicate from from a computer to to change stuff.
Currently, the unit will scan and pick up the first vehicle or group of vehicles coming, register the speed, show the speed. But once that last vehicle in the group has passed, it stays on with that speed reading. Just stays on steady. It doesn't change, doesn't revert back to clearing out and starting over again. So it just sits there and drains the batteries because it's showing the last vehicle's speed consistently.
I'm kind of with Steve too, that we fix it and use that this year and then budget for the other sign. I mean, I think he's got a real good idea having one on each side of the city. So I've mentioned that in the past, that we should move it, but it'd be nice to have two. Would it be a possibility, like someday when you go down to download something, maybe just
Yep.
have him hop in with you and go down there and then stop at Little Falls and make the maintenance shop and talk to them guys?
Yeah, I do have a call in with the chief in Little Falls and just haven't gotten a call back from him yet.
Cause he told me a long time ago, if we wanted batteries, we could get them for, I think he said he'd let us have both of them for $300, which is half price, and they were brand new batteries, they just pulled them out of their units when they got the units, but, so I know they're fixing, or they're revamping them to solar, but you can verify that with him, I guess. Pat?
I like the solar myself, but I think you're right that we need the budget for it. It's $3,600.
And maybe at the end of the year, when we see where we stand, maybe we will have money to buy one, but let's see. Do you have something you wanna say?
Well, I was just, we almost certainly will have extra money in the police department budget, given we're down to one officer, even if it's only temporarily. You know, the wages, insurance, et cetera. So, something to keep in mind.
So my opinion honestly is either way, we're gonna want two, right? I think we all can agree that at some point we want two of them, so if we don't, we can't buy two of $3,000 ones or $3,500 ones. So at one point, some point, we should fix the one we have. So you guys kinda agree on, it's okay to go fix the other one?
I think we need an actual quote though, is that correct?
Well, he has a quote of 900, but he doesn't, they don't.
But I mean, we don't have it on paper.
Oh, okay. Do you have a,
Not on paper. No,
can you
that's
have him
just
email
there.
something?
I can have them send, yep,
So when you get that, and if the quote is that 900, and what did they quote you?
$995.
So if it still is that, I would not be opposed, if the rest of them are not opposed, to send it in and get it fixed.
And what was the turnaround on that, did they say?
He didn't say.
Okay. I guess I'd be curious to know that too, if we're gonna be without it all summer, I don't know that it pays to do it right away.
The way he brought it across, it was gonna be a quick turnaround that
Okay.
they can, something that they commonly do, so it'll be probably back within a couple weeks.
Okay.
I think it'd be wasteful to not fix it, honestly. Machines are expensive,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We've had to take ours at the sheriff's office and fix them a couple times, but.
And they reprogram them with the most up-to-date programming that they have, so they're more compatible with the computers and being able to communicate with them with smartphone or computer, laptop, so.
So we're considering repairing the one we have for about $1,000 and then considering the solar powered one for the other end of town?
I guess I was not prepared to consider the other one yet, but if you guys, that's up to you
I mean,
guys.
as money permits, I mean.
Correct. Well, he can switch them around either one, but, yeah, no, I think it would be good to have two. In a lot of cities, the batteries last about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, but it all, like he said, it's all based on traffic, and we have a lot of traffic coming through, so that thing is on constantly, and it uses batteries.
Mm-hmm. There were some days on that weekend where that thing would be
Right.
really pumping out.
But if we could fix the one for around that 1,000, and then at some point, you know, within the next 2-3 weeks, if them two go down there and look at the Little Falls, how they do it, and, you know, they come back on the July meeting and, you know, it only cost us $300 to get it done, it'd be sure nice to switch it over to solar when it got back.
Now, are you wanting Lacey to still follow up on the insurance?
Yeah, I think she should, if the insurance is, I mean, if it doesn't make sense, then I don't think we should, but if it makes sense, then, cause I mean, obviously cold weather ruined it,
Yes,
cause it was working until,
yeah.
I assume,
That's what I'm
someone didn't bring it
assuming
in when
as
the
well.
batteries were dead. You weren't around, so it's probably part of the problem, but you don't know, never know.
So how cold does the weather have to get before those batteries are not functioning right?
Well, I think it's like any batteries, when you start using, battery power, no matter what 12 volt, if it's 30 below, it doesn't last long,
Yeah.
you know. It's hard on it, and I know they had at one point pulled it in, and you used to pull it in all the time when it got cold, and just left them in. But the machine probably should have came in too, honestly.
Most likely, sure.
You know, so, but.
Okay.
Are you comfortable, or is there something you wanna ask this
No,
evening?
no. Are you looking for a motion?
I don't know if we need a motion, but we could.
I would make a motion that if Lacey is not able to use an insurance claim, that we allow Jason to send it and reprogram the machine for roughly $995.
998 or under
Was it
1,000.
98 or 95?
95.
Oh, 95, okay.
I'll second it.
All right, we got a motion made by Hutchinson, second by O'Regan. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
No?
I go too fast.
No, are you opposing it?
Yes.
Okay, so we got 4 ayes and 1 nay. Motion carries. So we'll move on to temp ploy. Well, first, was there any other concerns or business that somebody wants to bring up? Somebody have something for the police department? No, okay, so then we'll go to temp, intermittent officers.
Wanted to check with the council. I know we're down to just one officer myself right now, so my 40 hours a week gets split up between patrolling out on the streets as well as being in the office doing administrative work. Before Chief Smith retired, there was 2 of us full-time. So I was wondering if you guys are interested in me hiring a couple of temporary intermittent part-timers. They would be hired just as a temporary basis for a couple of months till we kind of figure out where everything lies with the police department, so that we can get a little bit of additional coverage throughout town, especially during the busy summer months. I'm trying to be here as much and a wide variety of hours as I can, but yet I can't be here 24/7. So I'm looking at just hiring possibly a couple of guys that already work within our area that are licensed peace officers and have knowledge of our computer systems already. So they would come from other local departments or sheriff's office, things like that. So we would have minimal cost. There wouldn't be any need for training or anything, just possibly buying them a shirt and pair of pants for a uniform.
I guess from my standpoint, I'm not opposed to that as long as they can work weekends. I know on my streets alone, I would think 1 out of 8 cars stop for the stop sign. We're lucky if 2 of them yield. And I have a lot of kids in my neighborhood and we've all noticed it, we've all complained. I'm ready for more officers on duty in town.
So what we've done in the past is that we could hire them, just kind of have them come in for a kind of emergency case. We've done it, I think I've done it once, I know we've done it some other times with some other officers. But basically, like he said, there's officers that are licensed through other agencies, could be the sheriff's office, it could be another police department that has our same system, that they know it, so it's just a matter of, a couple of uniforms and they can come in and do some shifts. And I know one guy mentioned to me today already that he'd be interested in coming from the sheriff's office, and he's the traffic Nazi, we call him the traffic Nazi.
That's great.
He does a lot of traffic, so.
It's great.
The biggest thing is we'd have to come up with a with wages,